All right, so let's go ahead and look ahead to next season for the Washington Huskies. Coming off a really good campaign here, 14-1, made the national championship, lost to Michigan. You've got arguably one of the right now up and coming coaches, one of the best in the nation, Kalen. I was going to say DeBoer, but I got complained at last time because I kept saying DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer, all right, who is a candidate currently for the Alabama job to be the replacement for Nick Saban. Will that happen? We'll see. That's to be determined. But let's go ahead and focus on Washington. We'll get to the recruiting rankings, their transfer portal rankings, their schedule for next season. We'll get to that here in a minute. But this season, like I said, tremendous year. Beat Oregon multiple times, made the championship, beat Texas. And the good news is you do have some guys coming in, but the bad news is you were losing a ton of talent from this team. And I do have some pause on what they're bringing in. So you're losing Michael Penix Jr., which was huge for you, one of the best quarterbacks right now in the nation. And then you're also losing, just to not name everybody, Odunze. That's another name that is going to be a name people know, that is a huge name, a huge loss for Washington. So you're losing your top deep threat. You're losing your top threat, which is Michael Penix Jr. That's going to impact you next year. Let's go ahead and look at their recruiting rankings here. All right, so as you can see on the screen now, they have the 36th ranked recruiting class and the 28th ranked transfer portal class, okay? So that does give you a little room for pause here. They are headed to the Big Ten. You're going to have a lot of competition. Oregon's coming with you. You got Ohio State. You got Michigan. You got Penn State, just to name a few. You're going to have your hands cut out for you in the Big Ten. It's going to be tough, but you do have some guys coming in. I'll get to them in a second, transfer portal-wise. First, let's focus on the recruiting. 36 isn't the biggest aspirations, I would say. It's not the greatest reason to have hope, but 36 is not the worst either. So let's get into it a little bit here. You've got the 8th ranked edge rusher coming in, Noah Carter. 17th ranked quarterback, Demarcus Davis. If I said that name right, sorry. All right. 14th ranked offensive tackle. So you do have some 4-stars coming in here, but you also have a lot of 3-stars, okay? And you would think with them just making the national championship, you could probably pull in some 4 or 5-stars, but they have not done that yet as far as hitting the top of the cream of the crop, you know what I mean? Transfer portal-wise, this is looking at their transfer portal class. The guys they have coming in, you got a receiver from Cal, Jeremiah Hunter, 3-star tight end from Fresno State, Trey Watson. You get into some of the 4-star here, 4-star D lineman, Sebastian Valdez, our 4-star offensive tackle out of San Diego State. You've got a 4-star D lineman out of Arizona State, BJ Green, 3-star Ethan Barr, linebacker out of Vandy. And the prize of this transfer portal at the moment is 4-star quarterback from Mississippi State, Will Rogers. He's a big get here. Did not have the best year last year, but under Mike Leach and his offense, Will Rogers put up some serious numbers, like SEC history numbers. He's put up some serious impressive numbers at Mississippi State. Kind of fits into the mold of Michael Penix Jr. almost, like fits the system, I would say. But they have to replace some other pieces besides Michael Penix as well. You know what I mean? So will they do that? We'll see. They do lose some transfers. Let's go ahead and look at a few of these. Not saying any of them Not saying any of them contributed tremendously. I can't talk right now for some reason. But you are losing portal guys to the portal nonetheless. All right. Dylan Morris, backup quarterback, for example. All right. So depending on how that goes, if you can bring in any other transfers, but you might lose some too, depending on what happens with Kalen DeBoer, but we'll see. So let's go and look at their schedule here. You got Weber State, that's a win. Eastern Michigan, that's a win. Washington State, that's a win. Northwestern and Rutgers should be win, but they're not given. Those are some tough teams. All right, you've got Michigan. Depending on what Michigan brings back or loses, that might be a win or a loss. I think Jim Harbaugh and J.J. McCarthy are going to go to the NFL, so Michigan might look completely different. But if you were to ask me today, I would probably take Michigan. You've got Iowa here. I think Washington's going to have to do some more in the transfer portal to be able to beat Iowa. I'm going to be honest with you. This team this year does defeat Iowa pretty easily, but the Big Ten's not going to be easy for Washington unless they really pull in some guys in the portal. So that one's a toss-up in my opinion right now. So that puts them at we'll give them that win just for talk's sake. So that puts them at 1 loss right now. Indiana should be a win. USC should be a win. Probably I think USC will be better. Penn State, that's going to be a loss, I believe. I think Penn State will be really good next year. UCLA, that's a win. Oregon, they have Oregon's number at the moment, but I feel like that's probably going to be a loss. Oregon's bringing in some more impressive pieces than Washington is. So that puts you at probably 3 or 4 losses from what I'm looking at. We'll give them 3 just to look at the bright side. So that puts them about 9-3. Not the ideal season, but depending on how everything else breaks loose, that could sneak you in the playoff if everything breaks right for you. But Washington has a ton of question marks coming into next year. But you've got the quarterback of Will Rogers. But most importantly, is Kalen DeBoer going to be your coach, or is he going to go to Alabama? I don't know. We'll see. It's probably going to come out by the time you see this video potentially, because it is kind of what I've seen, a potential in the works thing going on. But who knows? So what do you think? Also, first, let me know in the comments. What do you think, Kalen DeBoer? Is he headed to Alabama? Is he staying at Washington? What do you think? And what do you think of them next season? Let me know. Comment down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.